Hello guys and welcome to my channel. This is Von Groot and today I'm doing a reaction video of this new upcoming big open world MMORPG called Quinfall. It is a little mystery around it because the studio is a new upcoming studio from Turkey and yeah, they promise everything that you want. So it's I'm a little bit skeptic, and as many other gamers are, but this guy that does many of these kind of reaction videos and are very, very good, and yeah, he is very educated in these sorts of games. He does some reaction videos, and yeah, I will listen to him, and I will stop and yeah, and have my say about this, what I feel and think. So yeah, and if you like my video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe and like and share. And maybe we can talk down in the commentary about this video, and yeah, let's see what he has to say. The guy, yeah, you will see what the guy. I will leave this guy's channel in my details, so you can follow him. He has very good content on his channel. Yeah, let's do this.
Well, what's going on, folks, and welcome back. I've been getting my ass kicked by a flu for the past week and a half, but I'm finally back up to snuff. Today I wanted to talk about an upcoming MMORPG that has had my eye for a little while now. I'm sure many of you have already seen trailer footage and some baseline information for
Yes.
this one, and the sheer amount of ambition that it has likely turned you off the moment you heard about the time traveling feature. It definitely threw me for a loop, but I was curious to try and dive deeper, and I was able to get in contact with the developers to ask a couple of questions. For those of you that aren't aware, Quinfall is a massive, and I do mean massive, MMORPG being developed on the Unity engine by a company known as Valreek Technology. And they're scheduled to open closed beta later this year, while the game has only been rumored to have been in development for around a year and a half. Now personally, I've got a very strong love for just about any game made on the Unity engine. I think it's one that people often sleep on and underestimate because it doesn't produce games that are as graphically pleasing as those that come out of the Unreal engine, especially with number 5 already being released. But I think Unity's specialty is more on the AI and the complexity aspects of the world, and I tend to find more sandbox or long-lasting games being developed with this engine.
Yeah, guys, it's such a hype about this new Unreal engine. So it's pretty cool that this studio is using the old one, old and old. I don't know, but yeah, and that doesn't have to be a negative, you know. It's many games that still is looking pretty good, and yeah, it's very good graphic and sounds and atmosphere. So that, yeah, I don't think is any kind of problem.
Or at least good ones. So for me, I was already slightly invested when I saw an MMORPG being developed with it. It's another reason why I've got a strong affinity for Pantheon, but I wanted to make sure that I researched as much as possible on this one because everything you read at face value does appear like it could be a potential scam. So I decided maybe I could get in touch with the developers and ask some deeper questions that might allow me to more accurately gauge their progress. I did get some good answers, nothing I'd consider groundbreaking, but I've got a little bit more faith in the product after reading these. So the first thing I asked about is the taming system. I wanted to know if they could explain even more about the process, if there's going to be a skill associated with it, and if there would be a progression system associated with the animals and gear we can equip them with. Their response was yes. There will be objects or gear we can equip our mounts with and traits we can improve, which sounds a little bit like the mount system from Black Desert. Even more about the process, if there's going to be a skill associated with it, and if there would be a progression system associated with the animals and gear we can equip them with. Their response was yes. There will.
Wow. So you can probably build some Hannibal elephant tank then. It seems pretty damn awesome. Or or like the elephants in Lord of the Rings, maybe. Some big fucking tower on the elephants, and some I don't know, ballistas and shit. Yeah, it seems pretty ambitious, man.
Will be objects or gear we can equip our mounts with and traits we can improve, which sounds a little bit like the mount system from Black Desert Online, where each individual animal can have their own perks and bonuses. There's also going to be equipment that can help us with taming, and a mini game tied into it that we'll have to do to execute it. My second question had to do with the world and map's creation. Quinfall is boasting to be over 2,016 kilometers squared in size, which is extremely massive. My exact questioning.
Wow. What I think about a massive map can be very, very, very cool. But in my opinion, it depends on what you put in the map. If you have a massive fucking map that's some areas looks exactly like the other areas around, and the world feels exactly the same, and the animals and enemies are the same, then the size doesn't matter, if you know what I mean. Like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, there you have an example. That map was fucking massive, and I didn't like that because it was not such much different from the areas, so it got a little bit overwhelmed and you get tired of it. I don't say that the game was bad. I love the game, but now we are talking about the size. So that depends how they are building the world, I guess.
Revolved around how much of a part procedural generation played in the world building, or if the majority of it was built with tools based out of Unity. In the world of Quinfall, the first tier of map creation is procedurally generated with their own development systems. They stated that this process was completed in a short amount of time, but then a large number of level designs were applied on top of the world. It was at this stage that the most time-consuming and detailed world building took place. This is where they made the location of cities on the map, the strategic placement of creature zones relative to those cities, and hundreds of caves and dungeons were added after extensive work with their level design team. The forests, rivers, and huge rocky areas were also included in this team's work, so most if not all aspects of level design were manually touched by someone at one point or another. Now, one of the most important things I think can make or break an MMO is the gear system. I wanted to know if Quinfall planned to follow a more vertical system of progressions similar to some of the more traditional modern MMOs, or if we would be seeing horizontal. I also wanted to know for the gear system if they had any plans for gear enhancement, as this would sometimes be associated with MMORPGs that have heavy grind or predatory monetization practices, to which they answered both by saying that in Quinfall, there will be sets of gear with various bonuses and features. We can combine them together for the full set bonus and employ different items at endgame to complement our desired playstyle strategy. For gear enhancement, they're against the destruction of items as a result of failure. This is something they confirm will not be a thing, but some equipment may have a development process that can get you more bonuses than others. My next question focused more on the NPC interaction. While we're watching the gameplay showcase, we notice NPCs wandering around throughout the cities that can be interacted with. I wanted to know if we'll be encountering a deep interaction system with them, and if we'll be able to discover secret quest lines or extra bits of lore/dialogue through talking to them.
Yeah, and this is a pretty interesting thing, the NPC. You can have many different NPC, but if they only, if you can see that they are programmed to act exactly the same all the time, that is pretty bad, man. But if you see from one day to another, they do different stuff, they talk about different things, they do different stuff, and so then it's pretty damn cool, and it gives that little extra, extra thing, I guess, so a game will stand out. Um, like in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, I didn't like the NPC. They were totally blunt. They were very bad voice acting. So yeah, there we have a very bad example of NPC. So yeah, we will see. We will see.
To which they confirmed that in Quinfall, we will be able to get special dialogue and various information about the unexplored story from them, but that we should keep in mind that our choices in the game world can have different consequences alongside rewards. Something I also noticed while watching through the gameplay showcase is our ability to find secret passage items, solve puzzles, and decipher codes. My next question focused on what kind of mysteries and secrets we'd be able to uncover. They didn't go into detail for this one, but did answer by saying that we can obtain different objects and secret passages alongside coming across undiscovered detail for the story.
That looks fucking amazing, guys. Look at this scenery here. Look at this scenery. Wow. The shadowing, the dark cave, and this armor set. I get some Dark Souls Elden Ring vibes here, guys. It's promising. I can give you that.
Alongside coming across undiscovered detail for the story, like we would while talking with NPCs. My seventh question had to do with the network backend that Quinfall uses. It didn't give an exact name for it, but stated that the network backend software used in Quinfall's world has been meticulously written by themselves. Because of this, there will be very high player limits on a single mega server. I'm assuming they'll have at least one per region, but I forgot to ask which ones they were already planning to support. The player count expectations they'll be able to support may change slightly as a result of the upcoming testing phases, but there won't be any loading screens in the game, and communication will be possible even if you're on the other side of the map from the person you're talking to. However, there will be a channel system in the game, and instead of having a baseline toggle system for PvP, the channels themselves will be labeled between player.
It's time again for my, I'm a sucker for scenery and graphics. Look at this.
System in the game, and instead of having a baseline toggle system for PvP.
Wow. And you can apparently build ships, sail the world. I don't know, man. It seems too good to be true, but yeah, look at this. Just look at this, man. Look at these lightings, man. The reflection, the horizon in the distance. Yeah, if it's the half of what they promise, I will totally play this game.
Baseline toggle system for PvP, the channels themselves will be labeled between player versus environment and player versus player. So in addition to PvP dynamic events they confirmed during this and other PvP related systems, if you want to stay out of the open world PvP system entirely, you can stay on the PvE based channels. My next question asked about obtaining more insight into the guild system and how it might work. Will it be possible to control territories or have a guild taxation system members can feed into? What about guild banks, player size limit of guilds, and would we be able to declare war on other guilds depending on the circumstances? So every guild will be capable of having their own island if certain conditions are met. Islands grant many strategic benefits to guilds, but island ports and warehouses will be vulnerable to attack. So building up and upgrading your island with strategy in mind will be very crucial. For the Guild Wars portion, guild castles will exist, and every guild castle obtained in a war represents a city, so there will be a city management system.
Yeah, look at this. We'll go back to this combat. In my mind, for a game to be good, like these RPG games like Elden Ring, Dark Souls, MMO, RPG. For me, the combat is extremely important. You have to feel that it's have a sort of flow in it, not staggering and stiff. And this battle scene seems a little, I don't know, suspicious.
Or on other guilds depending on the circumstances.
Look at
so
this.
every guild
Wait, sorry guys.
Control territories or have a guild taxation system members can feed into? What about guild banks, player size limit of guilds, and would we be able to declare war on other guilds depending on the circumstances?
Bit suspicious,
so every guild will be capable of having their own island if certain conditions are met. Islands grant many strategic benefits to guilds, but island ports and warehouses will be vulnerable to attack, so building up and upgrading your island with strategy in mind will be very crucial. For the Guild Wars portion, guild castles will exist, and every guild castle obtained in a war represents a city, so there will be a city management system. The guild that wins the war will naturally occupy the city, and city ownership will allow you to have certain powers inside the city through the tavern and other centers within it. You can arrange games and events in the tavern, and even sell food and items to other players. There are also special quest lines, events, a guild level and progression system, guild buffs, and protectors that will aid you in city sieges. The dynamic events of Quinfall was my very last question of choice, but I wasn't able to get an answer on some of the PvE-based dynamic events we'll be coming across, only the confirmation that there will be PvP-based ones. But the other two questions were for how PvP would be handled in Quinfall, and if there will be NPCs that we can have as companions.
Wait. As you know, guys, I'm a big fan of New World, and this looks a little bit like New World with some better graphics, I guess. And one thing that I have missed on New World is mounts. Look at this freedom. You have a fucking elephant by your side, man. How fucking cool is that? And yeah, look at the next clip. You're just riding through the forest with a horse.
But the other two questions were for how PvP would be handled in Quinfall, and if there will be NPCs that we can have as companions to follow us around for combat purposes, since there will be a worker system for the profession side. For PvP and PvE, there won't be a possibility for losing gear when you die. And like we mentioned before, there will be PvP-based events and systems like for guilds, but there will also be different channels to separate those that prefer a PvP-based experience and others for PvE. There's also not going to be companions that can help us in combat, but this is something that may pop up later depending on the feedback they receive. Ultimately, that's everything I was able to find out on top of what's already known about this upcoming MMORPG. It's no secret that there are some very ambitious ideas behind this MMORPG, like the time travel feature mentioned towards the end of the gameplay showcase, and ones like that specific.
It's a fucking dragon. I'm sold, man. If you have a dragon and a battle arena and a big fucking great sword, I'm totally sold. That's me.
Specifically are ones I'm not sure if they'll be able to actually pull off, but maybe we'll get more information as their upcoming developer diaries and closed betas take shape. Highly recommend watching the gameplay showcase where they dive into the features of Quinfall, and let me know if you yourself have faith that the game can actually succeed, or if even you have trouble believing that it's actually real. Leave it all in the comments below, and as always, have a wonderful night or day.
Guys, what do you say, man? What do you say? It's almost too good to be true. Yeah. Please leave a comment in the commentary section, and we can talk about it. But man, I'm almost shocked. This could be very interesting. And I will look and search about this upcoming game, and have my eyes wide open. And I'm ready, man. I'm ready for the studio to shut me down, basically, because I want it now, man. I want to play it now. But yeah, we have to wait and see, I guess. And I will maybe come with some future videos about this game, and I will leave the link to this guy. He's very good. His channel is awesome, and if you like these sorts of games, he is the professor, you can say. So yeah. If you like my content and my video, please subscribe, share, and and like my channel. So, Godspeed, And God bless to you all out there.